In the grand tapestry of history, few threads shine as brightly as that of Alexander the Great, a name that has echoed through millennia, synonymous with conquest, ambition, and a vision that reshaped the known world. But who was the man behind the legend? Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the story of the king who sought to conquer not just lands, but hearts and minds. Our story begins not with Alexander, but with his father, Philip II of Macedon. Before Philip, Macedon was a fractured kingdom on the periphery of the Greek world, often dismissed by the powerful city-states to the south. But Philip was a military genius. He transformed the Macedonian army into a professional, fearsome fighting force. He lengthened the traditional Greek spear, creating the formidable sarissa, a pike over 18 feet long, wielded by soldiers in a tight formation called the phalanx. This created an unstoppable wall of spear points that could crush any opposition. Philip also perfected the use of combined arms, integrating elite cavalry, light infantry, and powerful siege engines. By the time Alexander inherited the throne in 336 BC, he wasn't just king of Macedon, he was the commander of the most advanced military machine of its time. At just 20 years old, Alexander set his sights on an ambition his father had dreamed of, the conquest of the mighty Persian Empire. In 334 BC, he crossed the Hellespont into Asia with an army of around 40,000 men. His first major test came at the Battle of the Granicus River, where he led a daring cavalry charge, nearly losing his life but securing a decisive victory that opened up Asia Minor. But the true measure of his genius would be tested against the Persian king of kings himself, Darius III. Their first colossal encounter was at the Battle of Issus in 333 BC. The battlefield was a narrow coastal plain, which actually neutralized Persia's numerical superiority. Darius placed himself in the center of his massive army, a traditional position of honor. Alexander, spotting this, identified the critical weakness, led his elite companion cavalry in a direct lightning-fast charge straight at Darius. The shock of this audacious attack was too much. Panic set in, Darius fled the field, and the Persian line crumbled. It was a stunning tactical victory, and Alexander even captured Darius's family, whom he famously treated with respect and honor. 2 years later, the two titans met again at Gaugamela on a wide-open plain, carefully chosen by Darius to favor his vast army and scythed chariots. Darius commanded a force that may have numbered over 200,000 men, dwarfing Alexander's army. But Alexander was a master of psychology and strategy. He advanced with his line at an oblique angle, drawing the Persian cavalry on the left flank further and further out. This intentional maneuver created a gap in the Persian line, right near the center where Darius was once again positioned. Seeing his moment, Alexander wheeled his cavalry and plunged through the gap in a decisive wedge formation, making a beeline for Darius. For the second time, Darius fled for his life. The Persian army, leaderless and demoralized, disintegrated. The Battle of Gaugamela wasn't just a victory, it was the end of the Persian Empire as it had existed for centuries. The path to Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, the heart of Persia, lay wide open. With the Persian Empire conquered, Alexander's ambition did not wane, it grew. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a visionary. He dreamed of a new world, a fusion of Greek and Persian cultures. This was the dawn of the Hellenistic age. He founded over 20 cities, most named Alexandria, from Egypt to the fringes of India. These cities became vibrant centers of Greek culture, language, art, and philosophy. The Library of Alexandria in Egypt, perhaps the most famous of these institutions, became the intellectual heart of the ancient world, attracting scholars, scientists, and thinkers from across continents. Scientific advancements flourished. Thinkers like Euclid developed geometry, Eratosthenes accurately calculated the circumference of the Earth, and Archimedes made groundbreaking discoveries in physics and engineering. This Hellenistic world, a multicultural melting pot of ideas and innovations, was Alexander's most enduring legacy, shaping the course of Western and Middle Eastern civilization for centuries to come. But Alexander's character had a darker side. His relentless drive was often fueled by paranoia and a violent temper, exacerbated by heavy drinking. After conquering Persia, he adopted some of their customs, demanding his Greek and Macedonian officers perform prostronesis, the act of prostrating oneself, which they viewed as an act reserved for gods, not mortal kings. This created deep resentment. The most tragic incident was the murder of Cletus the Black, the very man who had saved his life at the Battle of the Granicus during a drunken argument. After Cletus criticized his adoption of Persian ways, Alexander flew into a rage and killed him with a spear. He was immediately consumed by remorse, but the act revealed a growing instability. He also ordered the execution of his trusted general, Parmenion, on suspicion of a plot, an act many saw as pure tyranny. Alexander's drive pushed him ever eastward into the unknown lands of modern-day Pakistan and India. He faced fierce resistance, particularly from King Paras at the Battle of the Hydaspes. Though victorious, the battle was costly, and his men were exhausted. They had marched thousands of miles from home, fighting for nearly a decade. When Alexander announced his intention to march further, to the Ganges River, his army finally broke. At the Hyphasis River, his loyal, battle-hardened veterans mutinied. They refused to go any further. For 3 days, Alexander sulked in his tent, but his will was finally broken. He had conquered kings and empires, but he could not conquer the will of his own men. He agreed to turn back. The return journey was one of the most horrific episodes of his campaign. Choosing to explore a new route, Alexander led a large portion of his army through the brutal, unforgiving Gedrosian desert. The expedition was a catastrophe. Thousands died from heat, starvation, and thirst. It was a logistical nightmare that showcased Alexander's recklessness. His men, who had followed him across the world, perished in the sands, a testament to an ambition that had finally overreached itself. In 323 BC, Alexander returned to the magnificent city of Babylon, the new capital of his vast empire. He was planning his next great campaigns, an invasion of Arabia and then a push west towards Carthage and the Mediterranean. But the political atmosphere was tense. His policy of integrating Persians into the army and administration, known as the policy of fusion, angered his Macedonian veterans. The empire, held together by his personal charisma and military might, was showing cracks. He was surrounded by powerful generals, his diadochi or successors, who eyed his throne with ambition. Men like Ptolemy, Seleucus, and Antigonus were loyal, but they were also pragmatists who knew the empire depended solely on Alexander. Then, suddenly, after a prolonged banquet and drinking bout, Alexander fell ill with a fever. For 12 agonizing days, his condition worsened. He lost the ability to speak. His soldiers, hearing he was dying, filed past his bed to bid farewell to their legendary commander. On June 10 or 11, 323 BC, at the age of just 32, Alexander the Great was dead. The cause remains one of history's great mysteries. Was it poison, malaria, typhoid fever, or the cumulative effect of his many wounds and excessive drinking? We will likely never know. His death created an immediate power vacuum. He left no clear heir. His wife Roxana was pregnant, and his final words were said to be to the strongest. The diadochi immediately began to circle. The ink on his will was barely dry before his generals started carving up the largest empire the world had ever seen. The wars of the successors raged for decades, tearing apart the unity Alexander had forged in blood and ambition. His dream of a unified world died with him. Alexander the Great lived a short but spectacular life. In just over a decade, he redrew the map of the ancient world, created a cultural legacy that would last for 1,000 years, and became the benchmark against which all future conquerors would be measured. Was he a divinely inspired visionary, a civilizing force who brought Hellenism to the East? Or was he a ruthless tyrant, a megalomaniac whose ambition cost hundreds of thousands of lives? The truth, as it often is, lies somewhere in between. His story is a timeless lesson in the dizzying heights of human achievement and the profound tragedies of unchecked ambition. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into the past insightful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of history's most fascinating figures.